I've noticed a lot of Kenyans, especially younger folks, are suddenly interested in stock trading. But almost everyone I talk to admits they have no idea where to even start. It's like staring at a wall of confusing numbers.
I hear that all the time. There's so much hype online, especially in WhatsApp groups, and people just want quick tips. But without a real understanding, it's easy to get lost or, worse, lose money before you even realize what happened.
Exactly. It almost feels like everyone's diving in headfirst, then wondering why things turn out so stressful or disappointing. So, what's really tripping up most beginners right from the start?
Honestly, it's the lack of education. Too many people get caught up in rumors or social media buzz, buying shares just because someone said so. Without learning how the market actually works, it's more gambling than investing, and that's a risky game to play.
What gets me is how many people put almost everything into just one stock, hoping for a jackpot. It's like betting all your chips on a single number at the casino.
I've seen that too. People think if they go big on one share, they'll get rich overnight. But when the market turns, and it always does at some point, they panic and sell at a loss. It's heartbreaking to watch.
That's the thing. Good risk management isn't flashy, but it's so crucial. Diversifying, setting clear limits, and never putting in money you can't afford to lose can literally make the difference between sticking around or giving up for good.
Completely agree. The best traders treat it like a marathon, not a sprint. They're thinking years ahead, not just chasing today's hot tip. That steady approach always beats chasing quick wins in the long run.
Funny enough, even with a strategy, emotions still seem to mess things up. One bit of bad news or a sudden price drop, and suddenly, everyone's scrambling.
Fear and greed are incredibly powerful. I've watched friends rush to buy as prices jump, only to sell everything the moment things dip. It's such an emotional roller coaster, especially here where local news or politics can move the market overnight.
Totally. I think learning to keep calm and stick to a plan even when things get wild might be the hardest lesson of all. Have you ever found a trick for tuning out all the noise?
Having a written strategy helps me a lot. If I know exactly why I'm buying or selling, I'm less likely to react to every headline. It takes practice, but over time, you start trusting your research more than your feelings.
So many people I know expect trading to pay off instantly. Like they're frustrated after just a few weeks if they haven't made a big profit.
That expectation is everywhere. But the reality is, even experienced traders have rough patches. I tell beginners, it's a learning curve, not a sprint to riches. Real success comes from sticking through the ups and downs.
Exactly. And the Kenyan market especially needs patience. Sometimes it takes months just to understand what drives a company's performance. Rushing usually leads to disappointment and, honestly, more mistakes.
The ones who put in the time studying market cycles, reading up on company fundamentals, are the ones who last. If you're willing to keep learning, you'll find your rhythm eventually.
That actually reminds me, some people barely glance at what a company actually does before buying the shares. It's wild how much money is lost by skipping basic research.
It's such a costly mistake. With so many Kenyan companies affected by government policies or even global events, you can't just go by a friend's advice. Doing your homework makes all the difference.
And honestly, just relying on trial and error is a hard way to learn. That's why I think formal training, like the courses at Finstock Evarsity College, is a game changer. They give you structure and real-world skills.
I've seen that too. Those programs mix theory with hands-on practice, so you don't just memorize facts, you actually know how to apply them. The more prepared you are, the less likely you are to make the classic beginner mistakes.
With all this in mind, it seems like finding the right mentor or teacher is just as important as the learning itself. Have you seen mentorship make a real difference for beginners?
Absolutely. Mentorship changes everything. Beginners who learn from pros don't just get tips, they learn to analyze, test strategies, and avoid emotional pitfalls. Finstock Evarsity College pairs theory with personal guidance, which really speeds up the learning curve.
I love that they focus on both local and global markets. It makes the learning feel practical, not just theory for theory's sake. That kind of guidance makes all the difference for Kenyans looking to grow their skills.
And best of all, it builds confidence. Instead of second-guessing every move, beginners can make decisions knowing they've got the right foundation. With the right support, anyone can transition from being curious about trading to actually thriving in it.
At the end of the day, Do you think stock trading is still worth learning, given all these hurdles?
If you approach it with the right attitude and skills, absolutely. It can open up real opportunities, but only for those willing to invest in education, practice patience, and stick with it. Avoiding the usual beginner traps makes all the difference.
That's encouraging. I guess the big takeaway is, don't rush, do your research, and get solid training. If you're serious about turning interest into results, a place like Finstock Evarsity College could be the perfect starting point.
Couldn't agree more. With the right support and a willingness to learn, anyone in Kenya can transform their curiosity about the stock market into genuine skill and, hopefully, long-term success.